Dear students, in previous class we have discussed about Mesopotamian civilization. You very well know Mesopotamian civilization developed between Euphrates and Tigris rivers. Euphrates and Tigris rivers given the rich soil and blessing good climate and basic specialties to the Mesopotamians. That reason Mesopotamian civilization developed the bank of rivers Euphrates and Tigris. So you know very well. So political condition of Mesopotamian civilization, social condition, economic conditions, art and architectures. So these all points already we have studied in the previous classes. And finally, this civilization declined one day because you know causes of the decline the Mesopotamian civilization, intercourse between the federal officers and kings, federal officers and kings, and Persian attackers attack again and again on the Mesopotamian civilization, especially the Cyrus. The Cyrus Persian Empire, the Cyrus attack attack in 358 BC 538 BC. So that time finally Mesopotamian civilization was declined. Mesopotamian civilization was declined when in 538 BC because the Cyrus Empire, Persian Empire Cyrus attacked Mesopotamia. That reason the Mesopotamian civilization declined in 538 BC. Okay, so these all concepts we have studied in the previous classes. Okay, today we will discuss about Chinese civilization. You know, many civilizations developed on the bank of river because bank of river gives all facilities. You know, on the bank of river, rich soil and good climate were there. That reason, the man lived and developed agriculture, trade and commerce, fishing. So that reason, the people in the ancient period, the people lived on the bank of river. This way, developed villages, societies, and civilization also. So that reason, China civilization also developed on bank of rivers because all bank of rivers gives the basic facilities to the people. That reason the people lived on the bank of river permanently. That reason civilization growth or developed on the bank of river. China civilization developed on bank of river Hangho, Angaste and Sikiang. Hangho, Angaste and Sikiang. Already you studied two civilizations. First one, Egypt civilization. Egypt civilization developed the Nile River or on bank of the Nile River. So Egypt civilization developed on the one river, and Mesopotamian civilization developed between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. Here China civilization developed between Hangzhou, Angaste and Sikiang rivers. So Chinese civilization developed on bank of three rivers. Okay, and next the river means Hangzhou, Angaste and Sikiang. The river plains of Hangzhou and Yangaste, northern China, and Sikiang in southern. The river plains of Hangzhou, northern China, Hangzhou and Yangtze, northern China, and Xinjiang in southern China. So these plains provided few challenges to the dead people or to the Chinese. These plains gives the different or few challenges and minimum facilities to develop a civilization. Totally, the Chinese environment or the Chinese plains means Hangzhou, Xinjiang and Yangtze. Yangtze, the river plains, these river plains gives the few challenges to the Chinese and gives the minimum facility to the develop a civilization. Here in the beginning, Chinese had tribal societies. Tribal societies elsewhere, like elsewhere the world. It gradually developed into the feudal society. Feudal society. So here it slowly developed. In the beginning, Chinese had tribal societies like elsewhere in the world. It slowly developed into feudal society. Chinese developed a great civilization by 5000 BCE, but we do not know beginning time or early history. But we do not know early history because shortage sources were given to the historians. That reason we do not know beginning history or early history. We have fairly fairly or clear history from about 1500 BCE. So Chini, China history or China have the 4000 years history. China have 4000 years history, but we do not have early or beginning history because shortage of sources. So, but we have fair or clear history from we know clear history from 1500 BC. Chinese are always proud of their civilization. Chinese inventions and philosophy influenced human life in several ways. China is a country of variety of physical features, physical features, physical features because because it have because it lies between Himalayas in the west and Pacific Ocean in the east and desert in the north. It has variety of flora and fauna. So now China civilization also have the natural protect like Egyptian civilization. Egypt, the Mesopotamian civilization not have any natural protect, but Egyptian civilization have the natural protect because east, west and south, big or whose desert and in north Himalaya mountain. That reason Nile or Egyptian civilization have the natural protect. And China civilization also have the natural protect because China country have the variety of physical features. Himalaya mountain in the west, Pacific Ocean in the east and desert in the north. That reason China also have the natural protect, and it has a variety of flora and develop or variety of fauna. So, Mongoloid race. So, in ancient period, many different races were there. Here, Mongoloid race lived in China. Lived in China. Lived in China. Okay. So, let us study about political condition. These all points related to the early history of China's. And next we move to the next point, political condition. So early China was ruled by many kings. In the beginning, they had a administration, loose administration, because early year ruled many kings. So where when empire or emperor ruled in the country, that country have the good administration and strong administration. But in the China early year ruled the China was ruled by many kings. That reason they had a loose administration. In the later stages, they had the centralized administration. So many difference are there in the between loose administration and centralized administration. Okay. So China later stages, the China had a centralized administration. China has a long political history. More than 15 dynasties have ruled China from 2100 BC to 1911 CE. So, in year between 15 dynasty ruled in the China. Here, the dynasty that ruled China. So, the China dynasty into two types. First one, dynasty to ancient heir, and second one, dynasty of imperial heir. Okay. So, dynasty of ancient heir, three dynasty are there. First one, Jia dynasty. Jia dynasty ruled from 2100 to 1600 BCE. So this dynasty called first dynasty of China civilization. Okay. And next one, Shang dynasty. Shang dynasty ruled from 1600 to 1046 BCE, and Zhou dynasty 10,045 to 256 BCE. In between, Zhou dynasty ruled in the China. Totally, dynasty ancient year, three dynasties were there. Finally, first dynasty, Jia dynasty, and in ancient year, in last dynasty, Zhou dynasty. Okay, remember this point. And next one, dynasties of imperial heir. Here, Qing dynasty. Qing dynasty ruled from 221 to 206 BC. Han dynasty 206 to 206 BC to 220 CE. You know BC and difference between BC and CE. And their kingdoms, Wei, Shao and Fu, the three kingdoms ruled in the China 220 CE to 280 CE, and Jain dynasty 265 to 420 CE. Southern and Northern Dynasty 420 to 589 CE and Zhou Dynasty 581 to 618 CE. Tang Dynasty ruled from 618 to 907 CE and Age Dynasty, Age of 10 Kingdoms, ruled from 907 to 960 CE. Sang Dynasty 962 till 962 till 179 CE and Yan Dynasty 1271 to 1368 CE and Ming Dynasty 1368 to 1644 CE and Manchu or Qing Dynasty 1644 to 1911 CE and finally and last dynasty Manchu or Qing Dynasty. So totally China civilization ruled by 15 dynasty. So these ruled from 1100 BC to 1911 CE. First dynasty, Jia dynasty, and last dynasty, Manchu or Qing dynasty. Maybe so these points, on these points, maybe 1 mark questions arise in your examinations. Which was the first dynasty of China civilization and which was the last dynasty of China civilization? So when ruled the first or last China civilization? Dynasty China civilization. Remember first civilization Jia dynasty. It was ruled 2100 to 1600 BC and last dynasty Manchu or Qing dynasty. It was this dynasty was ruled 1644 to 1911 CE. Okay, and next one, so explain about the political conditions of China civilization. Jia was earliest or first dynasty of China civilization. So this civilization came to or ruled around 21,000 or 2100 BCE and last dynasty King or Manchu dynasty. So this dynasty ruled from 1644 to 1911 CE. 1911 CE and it means so China civilization political condition started from 2100 to 1911 CE. Okay, the political history of China is classified into 2 years. Already I said to you, first one ancient era, second one imperial era. Ancient era 2100 to 221 BCE and imperial era 221 BCE to 1911 CE. Okay, here the Zhou Empire was the longest survived dynasty. The Zhou dynasty ruled a long period in the China. The rulers of this dynasty evolved the theory of the mandate of heaven, divine virgin to legitimize their rule, and 3rd and 4th BCE federal rods arised in the civilization. Starting in the civilization early year, the Zhou Empire ruled in the longest period. That time they improved the China different ways But the 3rd and 4th BCE arised the federal lords. Federal lords. They engaged in wars, in internal quarrels. Federal lords engaged internal quarrels in the 4th and 3rd and 4th century. Datum Qin dynasty. Qin dynasty destroyed the federal lords and re-established the dynasty rule. In China civilization 3rd and 4th century, dynasty, the ruled dynasty destroyed but and arranged the feudal officers, but the Qin dynasty destroyed the federal officers or lords and re-established the dynasty rule. And next, Xin Huangdi. Xi Huangdi, the greatest rule of China, belonged to this dynasty. Xi meaning of the name of the Xi Huangdi. Xi means first and Huangdi means emperor. Xi Huangdi means first greatest emperor in the China civilization. So this way Xi means the first and Huangdi means emperor. He was the first greatest emperor in the Chinese civilization. Okay. He ruled from Chini, the province, and adopted the name Qin. Xi Huangdi ruled from Qin. So that reason they named or adapted the name Qin Xi Huangdi. The name China came from Qin. Xi Huangdi, he started census and maintained peace and prosperity in the ruled or administration. He started the construction of the Great Wall because that time when Xi Huangdi ruled China, that time Hunas and Mongols attacked again and again on the China again and again. That reason China protect from the attackers of Hunas and Mongols. That reason Xi Huangdi started the construction of the Great Wall of China. So it is the greatest place or great wall in the history. He introduced equal laws throughout the country. Xi Huangdi introduced equal laws throughout the country. He divided his country into 36 provinces and appointed civil and military officers to each province. He traveled in disguise to understood the problems of the empire and constructed the roads and canals to connect the places of the empire. So Xi Huangdi introduced equal laws throughout the country. He divided totally his empire divided into the 36 provinces. In each provinces he appointed the civil and military officers by competitive examinations, and he now understood the problems of the empire or people. So that reason he traveled in the disguise to understood the problems of the empire and constructed the roads and canals to connect for the places of the empire. See, Huang Ti believed that people are basically indisp- in specialized, so he introduced strict laws and cruel punishment. The emperor was for change and against the old order. You know, in the ancient period the people were very lazy, so she went to know that reason he applied the he applied the he applied the strict laws in the administration, and he applied the cruel punishment. The emperor was for change and against the old orders. So he result and he not like the old orders. Si Huangtu was not like the old laws and orders. That reason the Si Huangtu changed the old orders and laws and created the new laws and orders. So he tried control knowledge. Si Huangtu tried control knowledge. That reason he burnt many books that time. See when to protect scientists first. Protect scientists, but he against the historians, but he opposed the historians. Many scholars who opposed him in the Qin dynasty. Many scholars who opposed Si Huangtu, that time Si Huangtu burned alive in the Great Wall of China. Remember this way. So many scholars were dead in the when the construction of the Great Wall of China. That time many scholars were dead because who opposed him, that scholars burnt alive in the Great Wall of China. And next, Han Dynasty replaced Qin Dynasty. Then Han Dynasty started ruled and then replaced Qin Dynasty. Huti was a great ruler of this dynasty. Which dynasty? Qin Dynasty. Huti was a great ruler of the Qin dynasty. He divided the empire into 13 provinces. He divided into 13 provinces. He centralized the administration. He was a great protector on froze property. Already I said too, Si Huangti tried to control the knowledge. That reason he burnt many great books. But here Uti was gives the protection to the force and poetry, philosophy, mathematics and medicine were composed. This period is known as the Golden Age of China because age of Huti, many books, poetries and philosophies, mathematics, medicines were composed. That reason this period is known as the Golden Age of China history. After Han Dynasty, Jin Dynasty started the administration. The rulers decentralized the power. Later there was political fragmentation of China. For about 400 years, Shu dynasty re-established the empire. So here, after the Han dynasty, Jin dynasty started the rule. That time the Jin dynasty So Vajjan dynasty rulers decentralized, but the later rulers means Shid dynasty re-established the empire, and Tang dynasty follows Shu dynasty. They introduced coin system. Tang dynasty introduced coin system. Coin system. The brought reforms in the administration. So totally, Tang dynasty introduced the coin system in the trade and commerce and in the society also, and he reforms the many reforms in the administration. They divided their administration into three parts. Three parts. First, the first criticize. The draft first to draft and second revive means criticize, and third implement. Here the Tang dynasty rulers so introduce the new laws first, and the laws criticized by the rulers, and the last one implement. Totally, Tang dynasty divided into the three parts. Tang dynasty administration divided into the three parts. First part, the introduce the new laws. First part, the introduce the new laws or create the new laws. It means draft, and criticize the new laws. It was one second part, and third part. So which laws apply the equal in the society, so that law is implement. So third part, implement of the policies. Totally, Tang dynasty divided into the three parts. And the competitive examinations were conducted for the recruited officers or government officers. The competitive examinations were conducted for government officers for appointment. This period is also known as Golden Age. So first one, the Golden Age. So which dynasty is known as the Golden Age? Which dynasty? Yes, Han dynasty. Han dynasty and Qin dynasty ruled in the China civilization. That time Qin dynasty supported to the scholars and protect and force poetry, philosophy, mathematics and medicines, that and many poetry and force composed that time. So that reason that period also known as the Golden Age. And here Tang dynasty also had the good administration. So that reason Tang dynasty administration divided in the three parts, and they conduct the competitive exam appointment of the government officers, and that reason this period is also known as Golden Age of Chinese history, as there was significant developed the field of art, architectures, literatures and technologies also. When in the China, Tang dynasty ruled in the China, that time developed art, literatures, technology also. So that reason this age also known as Golden Age of China's. These all points came in the political condition of China's. Here you remember it. Totally 15 dynasties were ruled in the China. Ruled the China civilization. First dynasty, Zhou dynasty, and last dynasty, Qin Qin dynasty king or Manchu dynasty. So totally 15 dynasties were ruled the China civilizations. Sometimes their administration decentralized and sometimes their administration centralized. Totally China civilization saw the two golden age in the when the Qin dynasty ruled the China civilization. That time developed art, architecture, philosophy, poetry, medicines, mathematics. That reason that period also known as golden age. And finally Tang dynasty when ruled the China civilization. That time he improved the art, architectures, literatures and technology also. And he conduct the competitive exam for appointment of the government officers. So that reason this age also known as the golden age of Chinese civilization. Totally in the China history saw the two no two golden ages. Okay, in next one, social condition. The Chinese society was a traditional society. Chinese society was a traditional society. It was a male dominated society. In China society, a male gives the importance to the male. So that reason it was a male dominated society. Family was the basis of the society. In civilization, the mother learnt moral values. In the China civilization, the mothers said to their child, the mothers said to their child to the different moral stories. And this way the mother learnt moral values their their children. To her children, these people girls were considered as burden to the family. When the girl child born, that time Chinese believes the girls were considered as a burden to the family. The position of women was not good in the China civilization or China society. Women led de- defended life. Women lead defended life. Here, the Chinese society had the four classes based on the work of the people. Based on the work of the people, the top class, second class, and third and fourth classes. In the top classes include the officers and schoolers and teachers. In the top class include the officers, schoolers and teachers. And second classes include farmers. Farmers. Farmers lived in the second class. And third class artists are there in the third class. And finally merchants lived in the last class. It means fourth class. Okay, so Mandarin race also lived in the China civilization. Mandarins, a small class of people, also there in the China civilization society. They had respected the power in the society and the government also, because Mandarin were able to read and write Chinese script or language. That reason Mandarins Mandarins have the good respect and good position in the society and administration of the China civilization. Totally, China society divided into the four classes based on the work of people. First class include the officers, teachers and scholars. in second class, farmers were lived and artists are there in the third class, and merchants lived in the last class or fourth class. In China civilization, Mandarin also lived. So Mandarin race and Mandarin people have the good position and respect position in the society and admission of China, because Mandarins know or Mandarins were able to read and write Chinese language. That reason Mandarins have the good position in the China society or China civilization. So dear students, these all points came in the social condition. Okay, and today we have discussed about early history of China civilization and political condition of China civilization and social condition of China civilization. In next class we will discuss about economic condition of China civilization and art and architectures of China civilization. Okay, thank you.